Thanks for joining me today for really micro movement and meditation. I'm aLex. I appreciate the commitment we make to this time for ourselves, for what it does for each of us, but also for this commitment, what it does uh, for relationships, for what gifts we have to offer to the world. So as we are here, those of you here in real time with me, I'd love to see a chat from you if you have that available. I hope I'm audible. I think I should be. Yeah. Hey, hi, Mary Beth. So, just for a moment as we start to center, let your stream of being bring to you, remind you, tell you what you feel grateful for today. At this moment, just kind of let yourself be open to breath, to a belly that's not gurgling from hunger, to the temperature that suits me, to feeling safe, to having resources to turn to if I don't feel safe. People who love me, my pets who love me or need me. And so just let yourself collect these gifts in our life, just the notes of these gifts in our life, in your life. And whatever position you are choosing today for our stillness practice, let yourself, I'm going to refine our seated practice, and that's going to be the movement part of this. But if you choose to be laying down, to be lying on your side, to be in another position I'm not thinking of, that's fine too. You can use ground, sound, breath. I'll point to those a little bit. And so the first step is just to not worry about exactly what the posture looks like, but to feel the ground. To feel the ground. How do we do that? You don't think it, you can't remember it. Well, you can sort of remember it, but more useful to plug in right here to this gift of our senses, of feeling the specific parts of ourself. Perhaps for you, it's the soles of your feet on the ground if you're sitting in a chair. You can begin to notice that we are breathing. And that has a way of also delivering us right here to the first thing. Start with the first thing, says David Whyte. And that's the thing that's right here. The thing that often takes a considerable amount of courage to hang in there with it, to not jump out, to jump to the next thing, to move, to dart away with our body or our mind or both, our heart even. But to gently guide that powerful and useful and ever-present gift of our attention, tool and gift of our attention. What we're feeling under our body. I feel the side of one of my feet, the side of the other foot, two different ways. The pelvis. Even as I notice the air around me, the sounds around me. And you can begin to kind of adjust if you're in a sitting position, and even if you're in another position, any little minor adjustments to your body to really allow the weight to just go down with gravity. So that might entail, for me, it just felt like it was something holding on in my left side and just letting that go. I feel how my shoulders were ever so slightly lifting toward my ears, as if in this readiness to for the next thing, not the first thing. The poem I'm drawing from today is Start Close In. And so let everything settle. You can almost feel like a little bit like an hourglass, but an hourglass has that one central, that's good for noticing our central channel, but as if like, I don't know, think about the code in the matrix on the screens, the code for that is what is out there in the matrix, I think represents it in the code, and as if that's in my body three-dimensionally, and it's all streaming downward, I think, on the screens. I don't know if that's my remembrance of it, but just any plumb line in my body from the back shoulder, from my face downward, from my left chest downward. And you feel those streams, you can feel those streams in your body. And if you're lying supine on your back, anywhere a plumb line comes from above you down toward the meeting down at the center of the earth, one of my favorite images, that we're all tethered there to the same point, tethered by this unique gravitational field of our planet. Well, unique as far as we know. So take all the time you need to feel those threads, those invisible threads, plumb lines. And then can begin to, actually I'm going to have us do a hand gesture. You can do this also if you're lying on your back. If you're on your side, you can adapt it, doing just one arm. I've got left hand on my chest, heart, center heart, and right hand on top, palm. And just opening the arms out, and even turning as I have the arms open, turning a little to one direction and the other, and just feeling, using the arms now to feel the air around me, and sort of feeling my fingers that point and reach, and my head might turn, my gaze, even with my eyes closed, looks outward. So I know I'm looking now toward the front of my house, toward outside, toward Washington, D.C. Behind me would be toward North Arlington. This way, pointing a little to my, looks like to you to the left, but it's to my right, is toward South Carolina, Florida, toward Costa Rica, where I just came back from, and then toward Texas and California, toward China, upward toward the boundaries of our galaxy. Is our galaxy, our solar system, our galaxy too. Just feeling and then listening for the sounds as I bring my hands back. And I'm going to drop my hands into a mudra that I choose. It's sometimes called Cosmic Mudra, Universal Mudra, Jnana Mudra. I think it's Jnana Mudra. I've forgotten my Sanskrit. My left hand rests into my right, the back of my hand. The middle knuckles of the fingers line up lightly. It creates kind of a sphere and shape, and the thumbs lightly touch. And then I let my hands rest. Sometimes I even put something on my lap to let it be a little easier on my shoulders and elbows. And this shape is resting just in front of that lower dantian that I call the golden ball. And then lightly, the uprightness, I just let it happen with a consistent tuning into the downward pull of gravity along all those lines dropping through my body. And finally, I'm remembering I like to have a little lift under my knee on one side. And if you need any other adjustment, please add it for yourself, any support. So little micro movements or larger movements, maybe even. And I'm going to read a poem, this poem that I mentioned, Start Close In, to as the bridge taking us into our meditation. Start Close In by David Whyte. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing. Close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground that you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, beneath our bodies, your own way to begin the conversation, your own way to begin the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To hear another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until it becomes an intimate, private ear that can then really, really listen to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in, the step you don't want to take. So right here, as we sit in stillness now for a few minutes, maybe it'll be about 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes today. Stillness, so it was the setup is important, that as to the best of our ability, we set something up that can support our commitment to the stillness. To not be interrupted, to be comfortable in temperature, in the joints of our body. And over, as you notice whether it's your mind or your body taking you to the next step, whether it's in a thought or an impulse to move, to itch, scratch the itch, to check something, remember something, plan something, to escape. Consider coming back to that first thing, close in, right here. I say consider because there's really not a problem with going away from that first thing, going away, moving away from the close in. But rather, more and more we sense and know that part of us that sees it all, can hold it all. It might be distracted for a bit, for a small bit or a long, long bit, moments, hours, years. Distracted or running from or hiding from or fighting with that close in. But it gives us clues. Just that watching might give us a clue that, that thing close in just might be too scary, too difficult to sit with. We might need to garner some support, some courage, some smart encountering with some distance to feel safe. Almost as if we could watch that close in thing, that first step, that first thing from a distance, even though we're right here with it. And breath. And relaxing more. And maybe even sensing a feeling of contentment, joy. Wonder. Listening for your own question or questions. Listening for the detail, the richness of your own story, your own experience that might be bubbling up. And eventually, sometimes just silence, space, stillness. It's not much what my teacher calls candy in this particular way of meditating. Not a technique to come back to again and again, but simply to do that, to just come back and see what's there, and to hold it to prepare ourselves with the resource of a safe spot, some strength, some courage, community. To help us to stay with that first thing. That close in place in no time. That is our deepest connection with ourself. Let's bring palms in front of our heart and bow to ourselves, to one another. to all sentient beings if you choose to include that. And feel what that bow transmits, brings you, sends out. A gesture, like a word, it's an expression. It has a powerful meaning combined with your own intention, combined with your own energies. And so over and over, it was mentioned a couple times today, the courage is needed to come close in, to start close in to some of the things that bubble up for us. So I wish you to maybe next week, if I make myself a note, that I'll talk a little bit about the resource building of how we fortify ourselves, so to be able to hold the difficult things that come to us, and also amid the lovely peaceful moments that we feel, the quiet, when we do really touch into that for greater and greater periods. All right, I have to give you a glimpse of the peanut gallery here, because they're the epitome of calm and relaxation. If I can think they'll be there. Tommy and Rock on the couch and Max on the floor. I hope I got that. I hope to see you next week. Thank you. And let me know if you joined me after this video gets posted. You can write comments below it. Let me know that you're here if you'd like. That would help me to know who's here and who I'm connecting to out there. Ciao, ciao. Peace. Thanks for being here today. Oh, thanks, Mary Beth. They're so cute. It was so nice to come back to our 3 furry ones, my fur babies. Bye.